Let me think. Come on, guys. Let me figure out this. Let me see how much experience do I have being black. I'm doing the math. I'm doing the equations. I'm trying to. I'm gonna. Ooh, let's. Oh, I gotta. Okay, so if I carry, how much experience? How much experience to be black? Any chat. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Stop. So if I carry the 9, 7. And I gotta multiply. I have to multiply. You know what? I think I have 0 years of experience of being black. And I should probably listen to the people who have experience being black, which is not me. Great. Okay, let's get into the next story, which is Ben Shapiro talking about Cartoon Network and complaining, okay? So, basically, Cartoon Network has been airing these, like, ads on its show with popular characters from their cartoons. I don't know what the cartoons are anymore. I don't watch Cartoon Network. I don't have any kids, so I don't watch it with them. So, hey! Victor Nozen, thank you so much for gifting the 5 tier 1s. I don't know why my notification system is not working. Why is that not working? That is so weird. But you know what? I appreciate it, buddy. I truly, truly do. I appreciate all that lovely, lovely support you've given me, okay? I just want to let you know that. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Followers is on, just not subs. You're right. Oh, I know exactly what's going on. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna fix it. Guys, don't worry. I know I have to fix to this. But Vict, thank you so much for the gifted 5. I really appreciate it. Anyway, Ben Shapiro, being Ben Shapiro, was angry. Angry at what, you might ask? Angry at the fact that Cartoon Network has been airing ads that's like, hey guys, racism bad, stop with the racism. And in this edition, there was an ad that had to talk about why it's actually important to take, why you can't say I don't see color and the problem with those statements, right? And I think it kind of speaks to itself, so we're going to watch it quick.
Okay, so you've got Robin DiAngelo not just teaching Coca-Cola, but mainstreamed into Cartoon Network. Now, it's one thing to get mad at the Muppets from 1987 for telling a joke that you now consider culturally insensitive 30 years later. It's another thing to get mad at Cartoon Network when Cartoon Network is literally just putting out PSAs mirroring for children, mirroring Robin DiAngelo's talking points on racism and indoctrinating kids into overtly racist garbage. Here's the Cartoon Network pushing what is obviously racism.
Well, I'm not an alien, but it definitely matters to me that I'm black. Yeah, it makes a difference that I'm white. I know the two of us get treated very differently. My experience with anti-black racism is really specific. Other people of color experience other forms of racism too, but you won't see any of that if you don't see color.
Can we get a rewrite where we appreciate each other without erasing what makes each of us different?
Okay, but it's gonna add a couple hours to the shoot.
I can make yours open.
You were rolling just now, weren't you? Can't we just slap some graphics on this and call it a day?
See color, be anti-racist.
That was so bare minimum. There was nothing wrong with that. Everything of all of that was fine. I don't see any problem with any of that. That was super tame. Absolutely tame. Can anybody really say that how a black person experiences racism and how a Chinese person experiences racism is not at all different? And when we analyze the situation, that shouldn't at all come into play? And that if we just pretend color doesn't exist, pretend race doesn't exist, then we're not going to be able to analyze the fact that black people get treated differently. If we don't acknowledge that race is a thing that affects society, then if a black person walks up to me like, hey, that cop was super racist to me for being black. Well, I don't understand. I don't see color. I don't understand the deeper amounts of this analysis. This is super tame. How is me acknowledging that my partner's black, for instance, racist? Do you think you don't think that when I look at them, I don't notice that they're black? Does anybody on stream not notice that I'm white? Is that the thing that we just don't see? Are we all gonna pretend this isn't a real thing? Do you think how if somebody sees me who's white and then sees somebody else who's black, there isn't a possibility he might be treated differently? Well, let's hear what Ben has to say. No, he literally said this was racist garbage. Listen to his intro again. We don't listen.
For telling a joke that you now consider culturally insensitive 30 years later. It's another thing to get mad at Cartoon Network when Cartoon Network is literally just putting out PSAs mirroring Robin DiAngelo's talking points on racism and indoctrinating kids into overtly racist garbage. Here's the Cartoon Network pushing what is obviously racism.
This is racism. He just said in that tame little video, which you just want, which is kind of cute. Cute animation. But that was racist garbage.
Color, be anti-racist. Shut up, racist children. See color, be anti-racist. So, yes, we are all supposed to see each other as people of different colors whose experiences are completely non-understandable. I cannot understand your experience in any way.
Well, okay, you were almost there. We are all supposed to see ourselves as different people with different backgrounds whose history are different. That's all they're saying. That is all they're saying.
And because I can't understand your experience, this is the Robin DiAngelo stuff, I have to listen and believe. I can never try to assess whether your opinion on a matter is non-factually or evidentiarily based.
That is not the argument being made by these children. They're not saying, like, facts and logic don't matter when the black people say it. That's not what they're saying. They're simply saying that, hey, when black people say they're experiencing racism, maybe we should listen. That's not even the argument you showed. They're just saying that our experiences are different. Hey, all of our experiences are different. We should acknowledge that. We can't pretend it isn't happening. We can't pretend that race doesn't exist when race has such a drastic impact on our daily life, day to day, today. We can look at arrest rates for marijuana. We can look at callback rates for job interviews when it comes to having a black name. That's not even looking at skin color. That's just having the name that just sounds black. We can look at any number of things. And are we supposed to just pretend these things don't exist? No. But I think if you acknowledge these things are real and then say, hey, I acknowledge you have a different experience than me, and I acknowledge you interact with the world different than me because of the history, because of the racism, and because you interact with the systems in this country different than me. Systems that have racial biases. Individuals who have racial biases.
Instead, I have to listen and believe because, you see, I see color. So I'm an anti-racist, which means I have to listen and believe whatever you say and presumably accept all of your policy recommendations as well in order to destroy the systems of power.
No. Okay, nobody said this. Nobody said that, you know what? If a black person comes up to you and says, this is the thing I believe, you just have to accept it on face value. Nobody said that. But I do think there is something to come into consideration that if you have firsthand experience with something, they should take some extra listening to when talking about it. For example, let's say I'm an engineer, right? I work on cars, and I know a lot about cars because I've been an engineer my whole life. And you walk up to me, and I walk up to you, and I say, hey, you know, changing your oil in your car is pretty important. Do you not think, when analyzing if I'm telling you something that's factual or not factual, you should take into consideration that I'm an engineer and I worked on cars my whole life? So do you think if a black person walks up to you, somebody who has the experience of being black their whole life, and most likely has experienced racism, tells you something about racism, that it takes extra consideration? If somebody walks up to you and says, hello, I am... Whoa, somebody donate $150? I just noticed that. I just noticed that shot up and there was no notification because I turned off donation notifications. So whoever donated, please tell me in chat and I'll thank you. But holy fuck. Do we really think that's what's going on here? That they're saying if a black person comes up to you and says racism means that I can no longer breathe and walk or barely function, and it has made it so I am a literal mutant and I'm gonna grow like a tree out of my back, then, oh, you can't question it. That's not what it's saying. It's not saying you can't reject ridiculous claims. That you should take into consideration that when black people talk to you about racism, They have some firsthand experience with anti-black racism, and you should take that in consideration when you're talking to them. And if you just pretend color doesn't exist when talking to black people, then you're not going to take that into consideration. That is all they're saying. They're not saying you need to accept anything a black person says at face value or anything like that. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. This is such a tame take. I was expecting, like, I don't know, one of the kids to pull out like a hammer and sickle and talk about like say Whitey a few times or something, you know? Start like making joke like mayonnaise, haha, and start poking them, you know? I was expecting something like that. Haha, you smell like wet dog. I was expecting that. What do you say? Continue to make your argument. Ben didn't say you that skin color ought to be ignored. Why do you keep misrepresenting this? I'm not misrepresenting this. He's like, this cartoon, which just says, hey, you can't ignore color because you need to take into people's considerations. You need to take it into considerations when examining people's experiences in their lives and how they deal with racism. Different people of color have different experiences with racism. And he is protesting how this is a racist cartoon. Do we have to watch it again? I'll watch the whole thing again, just to be clear. I'll watch it one more time. Listen to Ben Shapiro's arguments one more time in case I missed something.
Hey, and then you've got Cartoon Network now pushing anti-racism. Okay, so you've got Robin DiAngelo not just teaching Coca-Cola, but
What a terrifying thing, pushing anti-racism.
Streamed into Cartoon Network. Now, it's one thing to get mad at the Muppets from 1987 for telling a joke that you now consider culturally insensitive 30 years later. It's another thing to get mad at Cartoon Network when Cartoon Network is literally just putting out PSAs mirroring for children, mirroring Robin DiAngelo's talking points on racism and indoctrinating kids into overtly racist garbage.
He is saying that they are indoctrinating kids into overtly racist garbage with these cartoons, even though nothing the cartoon says was objectable. Nothing the cartoon said was objectable. What part of it was objectable? Can somebody please tell me? For the conservatives in chat who think that there was something objectable, or thinks that I'm overreacting, or to Ben's just outrage here at what's going on. What is the objectable thing that happened? What was the bad thing? I'm very curious. Please, I would like to be enlightened. Some would say that parroting political talking points is indoctrination. Lols, the irony. Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, political talking points. You know what? All media, including children's, is going to have some political talking points. You know what? And I think children's media saying racism is bad and you should be anti-racist is a political talking point. I'm fine with children's media parroting. If children's media was parroting like, the Republicans are an evil institution set on destroying everything in the world, and they're all Republicans, you know, are demons. Like, if they, and you should all go to BernieSanders.com and donate. If that was going on, I would be like, huh, you know what? Maybe that's some consideration. Maybe I should take that into consideration. But they're not. They're saying be anti-racist, which I think is a good message. You know what? No one thought it was political when there's an ad about eat your vegetables on Cartoon Network. No one thought it was political or wanted to bring up how political it was when there was an ad about exercising on Cartoon Network, which are both things that, you know what, could be political in nature. It talks about it's probably in response to the obesity crisis in this country. You know what, eat your vegetables. What if I don't want to eat my vegetables? What if I want to eat Pop-Tarts? What if I don't want to, what if I want to contribute my money to the fast food industry? But be anti-racist, I see as the same importance as these messages to children. Teaching them basic human respect. This country was built, or it should have been built on the equality of man. And I think teaching that to children at a very early age is not a terrible thing. The point I think he's making is that the cartoon is improperly elevating races to a determining factor of our life's experiences. It is, though. Race does affect your life experiences. Do you think my skin color hasn't affected my life in some way? Do you think the skin color of black people hasn't affected their lives? What do you think this whole last 4 years, since 2013, the Black Lives Matter movement has been about? Do you just think it's just Democrats in the deep state manipulating the black people and to making them all go out to street to produce one of the largest protest movements to ever exist on the planet? I can tell you how my skin color has affected my way of life. To the determining factor, not that they may be an influence. Okay, so the thing is, the cartoon didn't say, if you're born black, your life is predetermined. That is what affects everything. It is, you will succeed or fail based solely on your race. They're saying, yo, guys, race affects how you live in your day-to-day. That's all it's saying. That is all it's saying. You can watch it again. And remember, he took out only a few snippets. He didn't even watch the whole cartoon. Can we watch the whole cartoon? Let's watch the whole cartoon. Let's see if we can find the whole cartoon on YouTube, okay? We'll switch here. Anti-racist Cartoon Network, right? Where is it? Is this it? This looks like the ad. Okay.
Colorblindness is our game because everyone's the same. Everybody join our circle. Doesn't matter if you're white or black
Or purple? What the? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up a minute here. Ugh, who wrote this? I think it kind of does matter that I'm purple. I mean, I'm purple because I'm literally an alien.
Well, I'm not an alien, but it definitely matters to me that I'm black. Yeah, it makes a difference that I'm white. I know the two of us get treated very differently.
I just think it's messed up to compare me being an alien to you two being different races. You're both human. You're totally biologically the same. Adding purple people into a lesson about human racism makes no sense.
Yeah, that is pretty weird. I think people like the black, white, or purple thing because adding a fantasy race in there helps distract from the actual racism black people have to deal with. Right. My experience with anti-black racism is really specific. Other people of color experience other forms of racism too, but you won't see any of that if you don't see color.
Dude, so...
Okay, so what? See, it's not saying like your fate is determined by the color of your skin. It's simply saying that, hey, the color of your skin affects how you're treated and you have a different experience being black than you do from white due to that factor. It's not saying like, if you're black, you vote Democrat, robot. That's not what it's saying, okay? It's not what it's saying.
This entire public service announcement could be a ploy to avoid talking about racism altogether. Hey, can we get a rewrite where we appreciate each other without erasing what makes each of us different?
Okay, but it's gonna add a couple hours to the shoot.
I can make it work. Open.
You were rolling just now, weren't you? Can't we just slap some graphics on this and call it a day?
See, yeah, this is perfectly fine. Yeah, this just seems like, honestly, this just seems like, you know what? It just seems like Ben Shapiro getting a little triggered, a tiny bit triggered, and a little cancel-y against a tiny cartoon that says nothing. Comments are turned off, so no, we can't check the comments. That's something that's perfect. It's mundane, really. It's not saying anything profound about race. Okay, literally 5 years from now, this is gonna be 5 to 10 years from now. Most likely, this is gonna be something that just even he's gonna have to accept. Hopefully, this is mundane as fuck. It's super mundane. He's just getting mad at nothing.
Not understandable. I cannot understand your experience in any way.
Ben Shapiro is definitely the person I'd go to for expertise on the black experience, most certainly.
Because I can't understand your experience, this is the Robin DiAngelo stuff, I have to listen and believe. I can never try to assess whether...
Would we do this with, again, would we do this with anything else? If do we listen to engineers if they're talking about being an engineer? Fucking ridiculous.
Your opinion on a matter is non-factually or evidentiarily based. Instead, I have to listen and believe because, you see, I see color. So I'm an anti-racist, which means I have to listen and believe whatever you say and presumably accept all of your policy recommendations as well in order to...
Now he's making presumptions. Okay. Presumptions. Okay. Professional content. See, it's nothing like racist sex. I wasn't saying they're exact same, but having experience, you know what? Someone can have experience with being an engineer, and somebody can have a lot of experience with being black. And you want to know what? I think about every black person as an expert in being a black person. You know what? I'll make that declaration right now. I declare that every black person is an expert in being a black person. Okay? Dave, you know what? I would say, let's check. Let me check some experience of the local black populace, okay? Let's think of Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman has 83 years of 83 years of experience in the business. Wow. 83 years. That type of expertise can barely be found on this earth. Wow, let's think who's another person? Maybe Floyd Mayweather. Let's see how much experience he has. Wow, 44. I mean, that's not the same amount of experience as like Morgan Freeman, but that's a lot of experience. That's a lot of experience. Much more than mine. Let me do the math on how much experience I have as a black person. Can I do the math quick? 1 second. Let's think. Carry the 5. Carry the 7. Let me think. Come on, guys. Let me figure out this. Let me see how much experience do I have being black. I'm doing the math. I'm doing the equations. I'm gonna. Ooh, I gotta. Okay, so if I carry, how much experience? How much experience to be black? Any chat. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Stop. So if I carry the 9. 7. And I gotta multiply. I have to multiply. You know what? I think I have 0 years of experience of being black. And I should probably listen to the people who have experience being black, which is not me. Wow. We did some amazing maths today. Wow. Then again, I also did vote for Joe Biden. Okay, let's get back into this. Back into all this. So that's enough of that. Let's see if there's anything else I missed.
Destroy the systems of power. This is being taught to children at Cartoon Network. To children. Yeah, you wonder why people feel like they're under assault? Because they're under assault.
Who did this assault? Who did this hurt I mean, it hurt your feelings, but who? Who did this assault? Who do I need to give a band-aid? Oh my god. Such a baby. Such a baby. Hey, this is Dylan. I just want to let you know you can find my content live at twitch.tv/DylanBurnsTV. You can also find my link to my Twitter and Discord in the description. I hope you continue to give me support, and I appreciate you for watching my videos.